Hi YouTube. Let me introduce myself. My name is Daniel. I live in Toronto, Canada. I'm 20 years old. I like movies, music, and I have chronic fatigue syndrome. I'm currently sick with chronic fatigue syndrome, or as a lot of people call it, and probably the better name, myalgic encephalomyelitis. I've been sick for about 2 years now, and they've been a pretty wild 2 years. I've probably gotten more experience in those 2 years than I have in, I don't know, maybe the 5 years prior to getting ill. It's basically really shattered my worldview, really changed how I did things, how I thought of things, my outlook on life. And since the beginning, basically, I started thinking that maybe I should document my experiences. For one, because people might be interested in them, and secondly, it's probably healthy to document your experiences instead of remembering them and dwelling on them. And I've also sort of wanted to talk about a lot of stuff I've learned, and a lot of opinions I've made over the last 2 years, because basically, before I got sick, I really didn't know that this world of chronic illness existed. I thought that healthy people, as long as you ate right, exercised, and lived healthy, you were always going to be healthy. And I suppose before I got sick, I had opinions about people who were sickly. I thought that they had done something wrong, and that's why they were sick, because they didn't get enough sleep, or they took too many drugs. I don't know, just kind of immature opinions. And so that's one thing that's really changed about me since I got sick. And I suppose it was for the better. I mean, I was a lot happier before I got sick. I was a student. I was in McGill University in Montreal. I went to the gym, partied, studied, a university student. And I had no idea about this world of people who were sick. I didn't know that CFS existed. I'd never heard the name before. I didn't know about fibro. I didn't know about multiple chemical sensitivities. I didn't know about Lyme disease, and I didn't know that there were people that were young and sick, or, people that were middle-aged and sick. I just thought, the elderly were sick, and then there were a few freak cases here and there. But the more I started learning about this, the more I realized that on an average day when you go out, you really can't know that everyone you see is healthy. I mean, I think I look perfectly healthy. I know I sound perfectly healthy. And even amongst my family, a lot of them really don't understand how it is that I could be sick. I mean, when I look in the mirror, I see a healthy person as well. So, I think awareness is pretty key in terms of treating this illness and sort of the future of illnesses in general, just because I think most of society is ignorant about chronic fatigue syndrome and a whole bunch of other chronic illnesses. I think one of the reasons for that is the fact that a lot of people with these illnesses, because they're sick, they're isolated. So it's not like you'll go to work every day and say, oh, here's someone with fibro and here's someone with CFS. Well, no, because a lot of them have had to quit their jobs or, put their schooling on hold as a result of being sick. So, I think it's really important for any sort of group of people who have, similar struggles to talk about them. And so I guess I'm making this video as a way of sort of reaching out to other people with my condition or similar conditions to sort of share their experiences. I mean, I for one, I'm really interested. I really want to know about your experiences with these things, or if you know someone who has any of these problems. Because although it's quite tragic, it's quite fascinating too, just how, you know, we get through these problems, how we cope with them, what we're planning to do, what worked, what hasn't worked. And I really want to hear from you. If you have or are interested in any of this, I want to hear your opinion on it. Because I think in this case, the more this gets talked about, the better off we all are. The more it gets talked about, the more research funding might go into some of this stuff. The more it gets talked about, the more awareness the medical community has about it. And that's one thing that's really kind of sucked, is that really the medical community doesn't know too much about these illnesses, and oftentimes refuses to acknowledge they even exist, and so that's pretty infuriating. But I guess that's all I got to say for now. I think I'm going to post more videos on my experiences on certain topics. Recently there's been a lot of interesting news regarding CFS. In the last couple of years there's actually been quite a few breakthroughs, quite a bit of, it's getting more attention, and it's getting more research than it ever has been. So I think for us with these illnesses, I think time is on our side. And yeah, you guys might have noticed I'm a little bit awkward in this video. Well, it's my first YouTube video, and it's my first time talking to a camera, so you know, it's a little different than talking to a person because, well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm talking to myself, but I'm not, so it's kind of awkward. But I think as my videos go on, I think I'll get less awkward if I do make more videos, which I really hope I do, because I think that there's a need to talk about stuff like this, because it's really a almost underworld. People don't know about these things. It's like a subculture, I guess. It's an involuntary subculture. No one chooses to be part of the subculture, but it exists, and I think the more mainstream it gets, the better things will be. And you know, we've seen this with other illnesses, AIDS, cancer. The more awareness, the more money floods in to help people with their problems, and the better off they are. So yeah, write me comments, send me messages, post a video response, I guess, and tell me about your struggle, or tell me about someone else's struggle, or tell me about your opinion on this whole world of chronic illnesses. Yeah, okay, I guess that's it. See you guys later. Bye.